from the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. Most folks are somewhat familiar with the Wildlife Department, but few actually realize how extensive the agency's mission really is. So in today's show, we're going to explore the many responsibilities of your Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation. Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, created in 1909 as a single employee, has grown to an agency of more than 310 employees today. Their combined effort is to enhance and maintain wildlife habitat, conduct research, manage fish and wildlife populations, and enforce wildlife laws on the 69,000 square miles of land and water enclosed within Oklahoma's borders. The department's responsibility is to maintain all terrestrial and aquatic wildlife resources within the state, including not hunted or fished species. It's also charged with regulating the harvest of all species on a sustained yield basis for the benefit of everyone. All resident wildlife belongs to the people of Oklahoma, whereas all migratory wildlife belongs to the people of the United States. The protection and management of resident wildlife is vested solely in the hands of the Wildlife Department. The department owns or manages an estimated 1.1 million acres throughout Oklahoma. The funding to support these areas exclusively comes from the sale of hunting and fishing licenses and from special taxes placed on hunting and fishing equipment. Although the department receives no general state tax revenues, it's proud to be financially supported entirely by sportsmen. You know, it's safe to say that we're living in the golden age of Oklahoma's hunting and fishing days. However, the tremendous wildlife resources that we all enjoy today didn't just happen by accident. So now let's take a look at the men and women that have been on the ground working hard to manage Oklahoma's wildlife resources. The Administrative Division distributes hunting and fishing licenses across the state and maintains records of all licensed sales. This branch also processes all claims, handles all incoming revenue, maintains all funds and investments, distributes uniforms and equipment, assigns and maintains hundreds of vehicles, handles all department mail, and maintains all records.
In addition, we have an information technology section that a lot of the sportsmen may be using some of those type of programs. One of the new programs we've rolled out is the e-check for deer and turkey. So information technology develops and kind of administrates the computer aspect of that. They also maintain the controlled hunt web application in addition to maintaining the department's computer network for all the employees.
The Fisheries Division is charged with enhancing all sport fishing within the state, whether in a department lake, a federal watershed reservoir, or a private pond. Through Fish Division efforts, Oklahomans can now bait their hooks for fish their fathers only dreamed about.
You know, fishing opportunity in Oklahoma today is better than it's ever been. And we have striped bass fishing that will rival any in the United States. The best paddlefish fishery anywhere is located in northeast Oklahoma. Opportunity for saugeye, blue cats, trophy blue cats, unlike anywhere else in the United States. And Oklahoma is just really a fishing destination.
Personnel within the Fisheries Division provide a wide array of tasks. Hatchery workers capture brood stock for artificial propagation of fish, which are in turn reared and hatched in hatchery ponds, then stocked in public waters across our state. research biologists continually monitor fish populations across the state. Seining, electrofishing, and even close inspections of individual specimens are necessary to acquire data, which is then analyzed so appropriate management decisions can be made.
So most of our effort is focused on public waters, but we do have a technical assistance available. Most of that would be in consultation on farm pond management. We get a lot of calls in the summertime when fish become stressed, fish kills because of oxygen issues, summer die off, and we get a lot of questions on how do I manage my farm pond. And we're always willing to go out and help to provide information to private landowners.
The Wildlife Division devotes its time and talents to managing wildlife through the creation and enhancement of healthy wildlife habitats. Additionally, game populations are monitored to determine proper harvest strategies that balance populations with their available habitat. Wildlife management biologists also help maintain public use areas, making certain fences are in place, roads are passable, and camping areas are in good order. Personnel may use controlled burning, food plots, or even sharecropping agreements with local farmers to make more food and shelter available for native birds and animals.
The lion's share of our work goes towards huntable species. Those would be deer, elk, antelope, turkey, quail, pheasant, etc. And most of our work is geared towards those species. And not only do we work to manage public lands for hunting opportunity, we also work extensively with private landowners. For example, Oklahoma was the first state in the union to work out a cooperative agreement with NRCS, where we have technicians who work specifically with private landowners who are interested in improving wildlife habitat on their properties. And we administer the Farm Bill programs through NRCS and FSA with the wildlife emphasis.
Wildlife diversity personnel actively assist in public awareness and assistance with those animals that sportsmen don't pursue through hunting. Their duties involve helping secure habitats for rare or threatened species and to investigate environmental problems such as cases of pollution that can affect non-game species.
Wildlife diversity is becoming more important to our landowners and even our urban property owners. We have a program called Wildscaping, and they learn how to bring wildlife to their property, and we also offer opportunities for citizens to watch wildlife. Bald eagle watches are very popular in our state, as well as the salmonbat watches. That's a good example of something offered to get folks closer to wildlife.
The most widely recognized Wildlife Department employee is Law Enforcement Division's Game Warden. Each officer is responsible for helping sportsmen comply with the laws and regulations which govern wildlife-related activities.
Typically, we have at least one game warden assigned to each county. There are 77 counties in Oklahoma. Some counties have 2, a few have 3 assigned.
In addition to apprehending violators, wardens also teach education and safety classes, provide information and guidance to local license dealers, and assist other department divisions in helping the local media by distributing important outdoor information.
Some people think that maybe we have a career, but I look upon it as more of a way of life. And because it's not long when you have been in a community and in a county, and you learn the county, and you learn the people, you will forevermore become known as the game warden. Not necessarily who you are, but just that's what you are, and that's what you're always going to be.
The personnel within the department's Information and Education Division function as the voice of the agency.
The information side of the Information and Education Division is comprised of our publications type work. We do a weekly news release. We do production of the hunting and fishing guides, the regulation booklets on behalf of the department. We also coordinate our web production, and then also, of course, our Outdoor Oklahoma television program and Outdoor Oklahoma magazine. And each of those are somewhat unique vehicles that we use as an agency to let people know what's going on provide information that's of importance to outdoor enthusiasts, and each has a little bit different audience, of course.
Folks of all ages receive vital information about our natural resources through programs coordinated by education and information specialists such as hunter education, aquatic education, and archery in the schools. The Archery in the Schools program introduces thousands of students to the lifetime sport of archery. And the Hunter Education program has played a significant role in all but eliminating hunting-related accidents and increased compliance with laws by teaching safety, ethics, and sportsmanship to hundreds of thousands of students to date. And aquatic resource education programs such as fishing clinics are often held for people right at the water's edge.
And we know that time spent outdoors adds to your quality of life. We know that time spent outdoors adds to your appreciation of our natural resources. And so, again, we have education programs where we try to instill those things in folks and encourage them to participate. And then we also provide the information, how to do it, where to go, what's new, what would you need to know if you wanted to go turkey hunting this weekend, for example.
Each department, division, and personnel has a defined purpose and responsibility, but it's not an island unto itself. It's the cooperation among all department employees which provides the strength for the entire agency.
It's considered to be the golden opportunities right now to get out there and to be able to enjoy deer hunting, turkey hunting, quail. The list goes on. The wonderful opportunities to fish in the waters of the state of Oklahoma. We've had extremely dedicated individuals that have started new programs, continued on existing programs that we definitely like to take pride in, that has made a difference in the state of Oklahoma in the area of hunting and fishing and just in general outdoor recreation.
You know, it takes a lot of hard work to provide such great opportunities for Oklahoma sportsmen, but take it from me, working for the Wildlife Department is a labor of love. Next, we'll take a look at two new properties the Wildlife Department recently made available for public access, right after this week's Outdoor News Report. Now let's catch up with biologist Steve Conradi and introduce you to Drummond Flats Wildlife Management Area.
Drummond Flats Wildlife Management Area is an approximately 3,800 acre wildlife management area and located in western Garfield County, southwest of the town of Enid and immediately west of Drummond, Oklahoma. Drummond Flats is a historic overflow basin for Turkey Creek and lies at the confluence of Turkey Creek, Dry Salt Creek, and Elm Creek. Historically, this area was very important as flood protection downstream by creating an overflow basin for Turkey Creek when it got up and out of its banks. Historically, Drummond Flats has been a very ecologically important wetland area in north central Oklahoma. The wetland habitat, it's a very unique situation having this wetland habitat over such a large area. The basin itself covers approximately 4,000 acres and provides wetland habitat for migrating waterfowl throughout the year, including shorebirds, many species of shorebirds and waterfowl. Wildlife Department began acquiring portions of the Drummond Flats Wildlife Management Area in November 2006 through purchase from private landowners. Landowners in this area historically have used this area for grazing and agricultural purposes. However, because of the flooding frequency, it was never a very successful agriculture operation. So the landowners were somewhat interested in converting the Drummond Flats area back to a natural wetland, and that's the Wildlife Department's goal. Currently, we own about 3,800 acres, as I mentioned earlier. We're still in the acquisition phase on some of the upland sites. We're looking at trying to acquire some additional upland acres, buffer acres around the basin itself. Our management goals currently consist of about 300 acres of developed wetland units and several acres of additional natural wet areas. The area is very popular for pheasant hunting and waterfowl hunting currently. It's also open to deer archery hunting, and there has been some very successful deer archery hunts on Drummond Flats. Current plans or future plans include more habitat manipulation to improve use of all of those species. Drummond Flats is a wonderful place in north central Oklahoma to go waterfowl hunting or some of the upland game species also. Waterfowl regulations on Drummond Flats, Drummond Flats, the entire area is considered a wetland development area, so the regulations are a little bit different. The main difference is waterfowl hunting closes at 1 p.m. daily, and you want to remember that. Some of the wetland development areas are a little bit difficult to access. You may want to bring a cart or something to cart your decoys in and out. Some of it can be a fairly long walk. If you're upland game hunting on Drummond Flats, really remember, because it's considered a wetland development area, that all shotgun hunting requires federally approved non-toxic shot, whether you're hunting pheasants, quail, rabbits, whatever.
Another recently acquired property is the Simp and Helen Watts public fishing and hunting area along the lower Illinois River.
We're here today at the Simp and Helen Watt's Fish and Wildlife Management Area. It's located along the Illinois River below Tenkiller Reservoir. It's about 4 miles north of the city of Gore. It's about a 320-acre tract of land here. It consists of agriculture land, pasture land. It's got scattered pecan trees, got a lot of blackberry patches on it. Pretty neat little area. Maybe more importantly is that the fact that it offers about a mile of river access along the Illinois River, which is one of only 2 year-round trout streams in the state of Oklahoma. If you haven't been down here before, you need to come down here and take a look. It's a really unique area. The fact that it is one of only 2 year-round trout streams in the state offers some unique opportunities for fishermen that can't get out the rest of the year. We do have some special regulations down here. The top half of the stream is the same as the rest of the trout stream. No special regulations there, but the lower half has special management regulations in effect. And there you can catch only, or keep only, 1 rainbow trout over 20 inches and 1 brown trout over 20 inches. Use artificial lures. You have to use barbless hooks. This is a pretty typical tailwater situation here. When you're fishing down here, you always want to be safe, as with anywhere, especially in a tailwater situation. But what happens here is the powerhouse sounds a siren, and they'll usually sound it 2 to 3 times. If it's me, when I hear it the first time, I'm going to be collecting my gear and heading towards the shore. But generally they'll sound it 2 or 3 times. And here at the Simp and Helen Watts Management Area, you can hear it most of the full length of the property. We're here a little less than a half a mile down on the property now, and we can hear it fine from this point. But you can hear it most of the length of this property as well. But what happens, this flow you're seeing in the river here today, right now it's probably about 70 cubic feet per second. And when they start generation today, they have 2 units, 2 hydropower units here. And they're going to turn both of those on and run full capacity, which is pretty common for this area. It'll be about 4,000 CFS. So with this water's out here now and it's only a few inches to a couple of feet deep, it'll be up here on the shoreline. It'll be 3 or 4 feet higher than it is right now. So if you start waiting till that water comes up, gets on you, it's hard to wade out of here, and you don't want to get trapped out here in this area for sure. So always take precaution. When you hear that horn, gather up your stuff and start heading towards the bank. We've already made quite a few improvements to the area. We've worked cooperatively with the county to fund paving of the road and the parking lot into the area. We've removed some old barbed wire fences, replaced those with some pipe fences, which makes it a lot easier access for the fishermen to go back and forth from the river without having to cross over the barbed wire fences. We've installed a stocking tube, which allows us to stock trout here year-round. We've cleared a bunch of trails, got rid of a lot of poison ivy and things like that. So it's a very unique opportunity, as I said before, and if you haven't been here, you ought to come check it out. From a wildlife standpoint, it's got some hunting opportunities as well. It's got some deer here, turkey frequently areas as well. It is a walk-in area only. There's no motor vehicles and no camping in here. We do want to continue to develop it and develop access to it as well, but at the same time we want to leave it in as much of an undisturbed state as we possibly can. So come on out and take a look at it sometime. Again, you find Gore on the map and come about 4 miles up the highway from there and go down the river and come check it out.
Well, hopefully today you've learned a little bit more about your wildlife department. For more information about us, look us up online at wildlifedepartment.com. For all of us at your wildlife department, I'm Todd Craighead saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you somewhere new next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.